So you've probably seen or at least heard about how now with this major, Valve allows you to pick any completed match and pick any non-stat track weapon that you have and turn it into a souvenir where you can pick which player you want to have sign the weapon. And of course, you have to pay for this, but there's a discount depending on the rarity of the gun, like basically whether it's pink or red or blue or gray. This is an example of one that I created. I think I paid about $3 or $4 for it. And you can see it comes with the gold stickers, of course, but even if I were to scrape these off, the weapon is basically labeled Souvenir, and it keeps this yellow text here saying that it commemorates the Cologne 2026 Major. It's a memento of this match between this team and that team, and it's autographed by this player. Cool. Now, there's been a lot of really mainly negative sentiment around this, I think, because as you can imagine, a lot of the content around this is made by YouTubers who are themselves collectors, and within the skin community, this is seen as something that is basically killing souvenirs and sort of killing rarity and things like that.
Souvenir no longer means anything. It's lost all of its meaning, so...
But I wanted to ask, am I the only one who actually finds the Souvenir update cool? Because I can only really think about how awesome it would have been to have it back in 2016 and turn my favorite skins at the time into souvenirs celebrating Luminosity, Cold Zero, and Fallen's first major win at MLG Columbus and their subsequent back-to-back win at Cologne 2016. Earlier this year, as I was building my inventory, I picked up this souvenir here, which is really just to reuse the term, a souvenir, a memento, if you use the kind of the new language, of the grand final that Olaf Meister won in Cologne 2015. It wasn't his first major win, but this was the first major that had autograph stickers, and so I couldn't get an Olaf Meister souvenir for his first major win because they don't really exist. And then similarly, I have one for Cold Zero here. By the way, I only paid around $20 for both of these. And you can think of what you want. Is that a lot or not a lot for, these skins which aren't particularly kind of like, they're not covert or anything. But they mean a lot to me. And it's an example of something where I'd say that like a skin doesn't need to be expensive in order to be special. These are very special to me. They mean something to me. These were my favorite players at the time, and these are matches that I remember. For the Cold Zero one, this was his first ever major win at Columbus, and I attended this event. I was there in person. Like, this is super cool for me.
Major champions. Thank you so much, guys. The family at home, and the money. It's our dream to play Counter-Strike.
So yeah, they're not special because they're rare. They're special because of what they represent and the memories associated with them. But, if today's system existed in 2016, I would have loved to create a Cold Zero souvenir for my USB Kill Confirmed that I had at the time, or my Howl at the time. And at the time I had a Dragon Lore, right? And I, without getting into the drama about how you can turn any Dragon Lore into a souvenir Dragon Lore, I would have picked to create a Fallen souvenir Dragon Lore for his first ever major win. I was a big fan of Fallen at the time. Because even though I said that these skins are special because of the memories that they represent, they'd be even more special if those memories and the souvenir status were tied to skins I used at the time and for skins that I like, aside from the fact that they're traditional souvenir skins. With this system, I'd consider turning this Vulcan that I have, which I think is very special. It's a 0001 float. And I'd consider turning it into a souvenir the day that Frozen or Heavy God win a major. They're currently kind of like my favorite players of this current era. I don't know how close they are to being major champion contenders, but if that were to happen, I'd consider turning this Vulcan into a souvenir for that. I'd also consider turning it into a souvenir for Fallen's last major game in the next major in Singapore, because if you haven't heard, he's retiring at the end of this year. And assuming he never comes back, like his final game at that major would be something memorable for me. And that's what a souvenir is really meant to represent, right? It's meant to represent something special and to remind you of that kind of special event, special memory. So yeah, I don't know. Overall, I actually really kind of like this update. And even though I have some sympathy for collectors who lose out on this update, I think it's an overall win for lovers of the game. And I disagree with anyone that says that souvenir skins don't mean anything anymore. So yeah, anyways, this is a really short video, but I'm kind of curious to see if anyone agrees with my take here.